Hi friends, welcome to Data Science and AI Quest. In this post, we would be discussing about the concept of basic probability and random experiments with some examples. So let's first ask ourselves, what are experiments? What are some examples of experiments? What are random experiments in statistics and what is their relevance? We will get to answer these questions in detail with some examples in this post. So first, let us try to understand what is the importance of these experiments. Importance of experiments in science, engineering and mathematics is known to lead the experiments to draw inferences and conclusions from the performance of the experiments. Experiments are useful because we can assume that if we perform these experiments under proper conditions, then we would be able to arrive at results that would be leading us to broaden our understanding of the subject matter and may also sometimes enable the person or the group or the organization performing the experiment to discover something unique out of the experiments performed. So in these experiments, one would be able to control the value of the variables that affect the outcome of the experiment. However, in some experiments, one may not be able to ascertain or control the value of certain variables, because of which the results will start varying from one experiment to another, even though the conditions of the experiment are the same. Such type of experiments are described to be as random experiments. So let us try to understand some more upon these random experiments and understand these experiments with the help of some examples. If we toss a coin, then the results of the experiment is that the coin may either come up tails, which can be symbolized by capital T, or it may be symbolized by 0, or it may be symbolized with heads, which is denoted by capital H or 1. That means one of the elements of the set is capital H or capital T, or in the shorter form it can be also denoted as 0 and 1. So if we toss a dice, then the result of the experiment is that it will come up with one of the numbers over the set, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. And if we keep repeating the experiment, then also the numbers obtained over the face of the dice is going to be the same, as the subset of the results of the experiment are restricted to these numbers, that is 1, 2, 6 only. Next, another experiment. In this experiment, if we are trying to make bolts from a machine, which is an experiment within itself, then the bolts which would be made from the machine can only be either defective or non-defective. Thus, whenever a bolt is made, it can be only classified under one of the members of the set of outcomes. That is, it could either be defective or it could be non-defective. Next, another experiment we are conducting to estimate the lifetime of the electric bulb. So in this experiment, which consists of measuring the lifetime of electric light bulbs produced by a company, then the result of the experiment is at a time t in hours, that it will lie within an interval of 0 to 5000 hours. Okay, so we need to estimate whether this lifespan of the bulb that we are going to experiment upon, how much would be its longevity or lifespan. Is it going to continue from 0 hours to 5000 hours, or it may exceed more, or in what cases it might lead within. So how much hours would the lifespan be, that is within a subset of 0 hours to 5000 hours. So the time or the lifespan of this bulb is within this time zones or the lifespan ages, then one can assume that none of the bulbs lasts more than 5000 hours, as all the lifespan hours of all the bulbs in the experiment is within the bracket of lifetime or lifeline, that is 0 to 5000 hours. So we particularly looked into 4 examples over where we discussed instance of tossing a coin and what would be the probable or the results, outcomes that come out of tossing a coin. Then we discussed an example of tossing a dice and what would be the probable outcomes of tossing this dice. Then we conducted another experiment, saw an experiment over where a bolt is produced by a machine in a factory, and which category of quality or which category of the produce of this bolt is under, and we saw whether it is defective or non-defective, which classification it could be made into. Then another experiment over where this experiment is conducted to estimate or assess what would be the lifetime of a bulb which is manufactured in a bulb producing company. So in this we conducted an experiment just to see what would be the lifetime. So many bulbs would be there and what would be the lifetime of going on for these bulbs. So concluding for this topic as of now, we will be later discussing more into probabilities and experiments. So this would be all into the topic, that is basic probability and random experiments. So if you like this post and found it informative, then please press the like button and subscribe for forthcoming topics. So hence, thanks again for watching Data Science and AI Quest. Thank you.